Right, we're live. Hold on, I'm gonna switch to my air. You all can hear me. Okay. Okay, this should be better. Sorry, I don't have the normal setup here, and the audio is probably not the best, but this is the on the road, on the move setup. Let me get that sun face. This should be a little bit better. Okay, yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, so if you're not aware, we are on the road today and not in Jamaica, but in Mexico. And I really wanted to do this live stream. I feel like it's just been too long since we hung out. The beach is here. The beach is like right over there, which I will show you in a few minutes, and perhaps we can take a little bit of a walk and show you around a bit. But let me know if the sound is okay. I don't want to move too much if it's poor quality sound. I know how annoying that can be on live streams or on videos, but I just want to take the opportunity to give some updates and catch up with you all. But we will be doing our normal live stream on Sunday, this Sunday, at our normal time, 12 o'clock Jamaican time. But I'll, of course, do my best to give out enough notice. But I also want to hear where you all are chiming in from. I see a question about what part of Mexico. I'm in Tulum, Mexico right now, and I've been here for about a week or so doing a shoot for Paradise and the Vibe, which is my brother's girlfriend's yoga retreat company. So that went very, very, very well. It was a great retreat, and then I'm actually going to be putting out the newsletter. I'm trying to do it yesterday, but it's probably going to come out tomorrow, and just put a bit of an update in the newsletter about the retreat and about Mexico. But it's definitely been like a super super interesting trip, and I really want to talk about it in detail, particularly in comparison, if you will, to Negril and to Jamaica, because if you've been on this live stream for for any time, you know that we talk about, or we have talked about, the comparison of Negril to Tulum, Tulum to Negril, and there was a lot of talk that like, hey, Negril could be the next Tulum, and like I thought so too. However, honestly, being here, living it, experiencing it, I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's a big, big question. And there are so many positives to being here, especially compared to Negril, compared to Jamaica. There are a lot of advantages that they have over Negril, over Jamaica. And there's also so much that is amazing and unique about Jamaica and about Negril that really separates it from a market like Tulum or like Mexico or like anywhere in the world, to be honest. And like I said, I do want to dive very, very deep into that. And I won't have enough time to do that today. So that's what I don't even think we'll do it on Sunday, because Sunday we're going to have a guest. We're having a guest come on Sunday. So we might have to table this discussion for maybe later in the later in the week. um, haven't had that many discussions, unfortunately, with locals. Just met somebody today, but we didn't even like really get into the weeds of things. We were supposed to do a real estate tour, but we just couldn't. We just didn't have the time. We were just too busy, and that would have been really awesome to get an idea, get a feel of the cost of real estate compared to Jamaica in general, but specifically Negril. But it has definitely been quite the learning experience, and kind of this is what travel does. It just exposes you to just sometimes a different world, but also it gives you perspective on just your world and your environment, your community, and you're able to perhaps, in my case, like there's a lot of appreciation that I have for a lot more appreciation that I have for Negril and for Jamaica being here. And then there's also on the other side of that, like, man, we have so much potential. And it further dug me into and entrenched me into that camp, really just being super, super even more excited about our potential. But also, I would say learning, I would say mistakes, but just learning from the development, the very, very quick development of this community. But as people are letting me know, like, please let me know, like, where you're chiming in from, like, what city, what state. Always like to hear that. I am not in Jamaica this time. I am in Tulum, Mexico, and I would love to see where you guys are chiming in from. I'm going to go through the comments really quickly. What's going on, Phil? Good to see you. Hi, Joe. Thanks for always chiming in. Phil asked about the beach. The beach is right here. I'm gonna turn the laptop around in a second and show you all. What's going on, Douglas? Chris, good to see you. I hope all is well with you as well. Hi, Dawn. Okay, thank you, Chris. Glad to know that I'm coming in loud and clear. Wayne, as I mentioned before, I am in Tulum, Mexico. What is going on, Leon? Conversational Spanish is not going well at all. This is when it was back in the day, a little after high school, a little after college, I could have helped myself out a little bit more here, but no, don't remember much from those classes. Hi, Paulette, thanks for chiming in. Hello, Dawn. Dawn's chiming in from Florida. Awesome. Chris, Panama City, of course, always representing. Hi, Marcia. Okay, thanks for chiming in. Dawn's asking, will you get a chance to visit the colonial towns? Nope, I will not. Unfortunately, just didn't have time this trip. Let me bring back the Mexican Carol for you. So I don't think it's gonna fit in my luggage this time. I'm overpacked. Marcy is in UK. Awesome, awesome. Hi, Simone. I'm doing well. Good to see you. Good to see all of you. As a matter of fact, I miss our live streams. Hey, Shayna. Good to see you. Chris, Strong Island representing. Charlie Smith, Blessings and Droppers. Dawn is on holiday in Jamaica. Awesome, awesome. Um, New look, new country. Yeah, I'm a little bit more relaxed here today. You trying to drag me in this? No comment. Asking about Palestine or Israel. I don't know enough to even begin to talk about it. I've actually been completely out the loop being down here and staying away for more reasons than one. But I obviously do need to catch up with what's happening. Mr. chiming in from Brooklyn. Awesome. MBL says, hi, Drop chiming in from Washington, D.C. area. Have fun in Mexico. Thank you very much. Frederick Martin says, hello from Tampa Bay. I'm so jealous of you right now. Hey, Tampa ain't too bad. Tampa ain't too bad at all. J Fitz, hola, Drop. Not going to read that. Appreciate the Espanol. Just going to leave it there for people to read. Hey, Camille. So I do want to touch on just a couple of things while we're here about Mexico. You know what? Let's take a quick walk. Hopefully the Wi-Fi keeps up, and I can show you where we're at. So the sea is super rough. The sea is that's one of the first things that I noticed here. So the sea is very rough. It wasn't this rough when we first got here like a week ago, but it is certainly rougher than Negril. I won't say Jamaica, Negril. Whereas Negril, the sea is like a lake, especially in the early morning. Whereas the early morning, it's a little bit rougher in the early morning than it is in the evening. But at no time does it compare to the stillness of the water in Negril. But now they say because of the lunar eclipse that's happening, I think on Saturday or something, that the waves are really rough and that you can kind of see white caps, maybe a quarter mile out or something like that. But let's stop talking about it and I can show you. So that's how close we are to the beach. Pretty nice. And the beach is much wider than that. Like this is just, I would say it's at least, if you can imagine, you kind of see where the high tide is. I would say another 20, I would say easily 20 to 30 feet wider than what you're seeing right now. And yeah, it is pretty rough, but it wasn't like that the majority of us. This started yesterday. Let me see if I don't want to lose you on the Wi-Fi, but I'm gonna see if I can show you down here. It's kind of like Negril. If you could imagine, like that's like you're kind of looking for Booby K down there, but there is no Booby K. It's much longer beach than the grill. Oh, there we go. Sorry, down there, but it's a much longer beach than the grill. You know, when the grill is like that 5 mile and then 2 miles, and this I heard is like 11 miles. So that's the other side. We're kind of, I think we're like towards the middle of it where we're staying right now. But yeah, and super, super chill vibes here. Very yoga esque, if you will. Like there's like I mean, I came down here for a yoga retreat, so I guess that says a lot. But even the place that we did the yoga, they had yoga tent set up. Also had a um, it was like this covered yoga studio, beautiful. I'm gonna share some pictures in the email. If you're not signed up for our email list, you can go ahead and do that at thropx.com. And in the update, it'll just kind of give you an idea of the Paradise and Vibe trip that we documented, that Throp Media documented. And we had, which is one of the most awesome things about it, is that one of the workshop speakers was Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote the book Eat, Pray, Love. And you've seen the movie with Julia Roberts, which was based on the book. She was here and she did a workshop for the attendees of the retreat. Just a very, very amazing woman. And she brought just incredible value to the attendees there. And she hung out with us throughout the entire retreat. And it was a lot of fun, but it was also just a lot of enlightenment and learning for a lot of the attendees. And I was there documenting it. I wish I could have been like more participatory, like soak up the learning, but I'm there kind of being a fly on the wall. And it was great. It was fantastic. And this is definitely something that I would recommend to anybody who's interested in doing it. And I'm really happy to be putting them in the newsletter. And we had Ayana on a live stream, I think a couple of months ago. And so if you haven't seen it, you can kind of check out the interview. Ayana, I'm sorry, is one of the co-founders. That's my brother's girlfriend, who's one of the co-founders of Paradise and Vibe. And she did, yeah, she's one of the reasons why Elizabeth Gilbert had joined the Paradise and Vibe retreat this week. So in a way, so the hotel that we stayed at was called Nomade. I was calling it Nomad, but it's called Nomade in Spanish. As you can see from earlier, my Spanish isn't that good. And it's a very bohemian style hotel. If you follow me on Instagram at Throp, like you can see the first room that I stayed at was literally a tent, um, which was cute and fun for our first couple of nights. But then I decided to switch out to like a normal building room. But it's an experience. And that's what people kind of went there for. But the hotel was perfect for a retreat of this nature. Like I said, they had a dedicated gratitude tent, which was where the workshops were held, which I've never heard of. I never heard of a gratitude tent before, but it just kind of goes to show you that they have this dedicated space for, I would call it mental wellness, mental health, and then they had a dedicated area for yoga. It was outdoor covered space, just absolutely beautiful, and again perfect for what this group was trying to accomplish. And I feel as though the attendees really took a lot from this retreat, not only from the leaders of the workshops, but also from each other and the community that was built amongst people and amongst attendees. Just very rich, and it's just kind of cool being the person behind the camera and observing it all, and just kind of being the fly on the wall and seeing how these relationships develop. And a great trip overall. Now moving kind of more into like the setup of Tulum here, and like I said, we're going to go into much more detail. Again, probably not Sunday, but probably on next Thursday's live stream. I'll probably do a full dedication to a comparison, my thoughts on Tulum, my thoughts on comparing Tulum to Negril. But I just want to touch on a few things comparatively, and on the detail one, it'll give me much more time to kind of get my thoughts together and put pen to paper and also put some media together for you all. But as I mentioned, like one of the first things that I saw in the differences was the roughness of the sea here compared to that of the grill. I think that's different, and because of the roughness, like the sea is very warm, like just as warm as the grill, but because of the high activity, you don't have the clarity that you have in the grill. Like in the grill, like you go in, you can see your feet like all the way down as you go out because it's so still, so calm, so clear, and you don't have that here. But I feel like, and again, this is not a great example today because of the lunar eclipse that's happening. It's not usually not this rough and hasn't been this rough. But that's just one thing that I noticed. The other thing is they get sunrises here, not sunsets. You know, Negril, we have the best sunsets in the world, but the sunrises here are very beautiful. And you can, again, if you follow me on Instagram, like you've seen my stories, I've been trying to keep people up to date with that. And so if you want to keep up with me there, you can do that at Throp, and you can see. Well, I guess the stories have expired at this point, but future trips and future things going on, I try to keep everybody in the loop from a live perspective, ongoing day-to-day perspective. Other things that I notice here is that they are more developed here, at least the hotels, and like the local that I was speaking to today. I was like, so where do people, do people live on this strip? And let me pull up the map here. Uh, yeah, I was asking like, do people live on this strip? And he's basically saying like, no, they don't. Let's see if I can pull up, because it's just, I guess, unaffordable. It's just very expensive. One sec. All right, so yeah, this is Tulum. Like this is the Tulum beach. Um, I don't know how far. I mean, it looks like it goes forever. So I remember we turned in. I can't even tell. I won't even pretend that I know where I'm looking. But let me see if I could find the Nomad Beach. All right, cool. Yeah. So this is the hotel that we stayed at. And yeah, beautiful spot. You can kind of tell from these pictures. Let me see if I can. There we go. On the left side, if you can see, I'm just kind of scrolling through. Oops. Beautiful beach, and like, and you can see how wide that beach is there on the left side. Okay, there we go. I figured out how to use this thing. Like, and that's normally how wide the beach is. This is the yoga area that they had. Like I said, indoor, outdoor, covered. Really nice, beautiful setup that they had, and these are some of the rooms. They had great food as well. I actually had this fish. It was like I think a pound and a half fish. Like they actually came and like showed us the fish before they cooked it, which was cool. And then they this is how they served it. Then they had this fire pit. They actually had this a couple of nights ago. I'm trying to show you my tent. This is again the yoga space. I'm trying to show you my tent. I'm sure it's here somewhere. But you can tell, like I said, like very bohemian luxury, if you will. This is the pool, beautiful pool that they had. And I could tell you, like, I went for a run with Winfield with my brother in one of these mornings, and it's just like a very, very, very chill beach. I went for a couple of walks, and like people are just coming out with like their sarong, their blanket, their beach towel, and just kind of laying their beach towel out and just kind of hanging out there. Like there were like multiple, and this is like every day I've walked on the beach except for today. But there's like multiple people, like circles of people just hanging out, chit chatting, talking. And you don't really see that in the grill. You don't see that at all. I would also say like, we've talked about harassment in the grill and people trying to sell you this and try to sell you that. None of that at all. Like nothing, nothing, nothing. Not even for like there were actually some little kids trying to like sell like jewelry and stuff like that. But it was just a very no thank you. And then they went on about their business. But like it's very, very different than the grill. And like, it's just like no, and like just culturally as well. But I think there were like positives and negatives to that. I definitely want to hop into on the detailed live stream at some point. At some point in the future, and it's just interesting. But I will also say I feel like you there's a price to pay for that. So Tulum is very, very expensive, like extremely, extremely expensive. I didn't do any research coming here at all. So it was like a shock to me at how much. Oh, this is the gratitude tent, by the way, which is awesome. It was a shock to me like how expensive things were here, like more expensive than New York, honestly. Just to kind of give you some ideas, some baseline prices. One way from the airport is $184. So we flew into Cancun. You're looking at about an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. So that's $184. Um, my brother went. Let's see if we can bring this up. My brother went downtown Tulum. So here is from Nomade. I don't know how far that is, but basically, I would assume like right here. I feel like this is where the turnoff is. One of these turnoffs. You're looking at about a 20-25 minute drive. Round trip was $100. Went to the corner store, bought 3 bottles of water, 3 chips, and a bottle of off. That was $40. And I get it; it's tourist price and everything like that. Trust me, I understand. I don't consider myself to be um, a cheap person, or and I don't like to go places or go on vacation and like have to penny pinch or anything like that. To me, it's just like if I can't go and be free within constraints and within a reasonable budget, then I'd rather not go. but I was like just shocked. And like even the hotel prices, I mean, everything here is like, man, I don't even want to tell you how much Nomadic was. But like everything here, I mean, you're basically, I mean, for like a prop, like you'll get a hostel for $100 or a hundred and something, but you're basically looking at a $200 minimum, I would say. And mind you, we're in off season, we're in October, we're in slow season, so I don't even know what the high season prices are like. And I like even speaking to like hoteliers in Negril, and they were just they've been telling, they've said many times like we haven't reached our potential in our room prices. And some people say that we haven't even got back to our pre 9/11 prices in Negril, um, from a RevPAR standpoint, from like how much we charge for for our rooms. And when I come to a place like Tulum, I'm like, okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. But don't get me wrong, like it's very modern, like all of these, I don't know within what time period like these hotels are developed, like even the hotel that we're staying at now, I mean, super modern. I've already like started documenting. I'm going to put out some videos on that as well, just to compare. um we to give you an idea, Beach Tulum and Hotel Nomade, they're sister hotels, they're right next to each other. Somebody was staying in there, $900 a night. This is not all inclusive. You still got to pay for your food, still got to pay for your drinks. They tried to get a deal on it. They went down to $700 a night. But this is all of Tulum, like this whole strip that you're seeing here. These are like all these hotels are like kind of just along that that price range, which I found so interesting. And but that's the clientele that's here. You know, that's just the clientele that's here, and like and I would also say when we talk about like the no harassment, the peace, the tranquility that's here on the beach, in terms of like nobody is saying anything to you whatsoever, you're paying for that. You're paying dearly for that. I will tell you that you're paying a lot of money for that. And yeah, the low tier hotels are like, I'm sure you can find something for around $100. I'm sure. But we even looked at a hostel on the side. I like, not that we would share bunks or anything like that, but like they had their own rooms and stuff like that. We'd get our own room, but it just wasn't worth it, and we ended up staying. And then we wanted to be somewhere decent, so we chose what I think is a decent hotel. But it's definitely not a cheap place. Um, uh, I would say this is not a, from what I see and what I've experienced so far, this is not a cheap place. And when they say like some people say Jamaica is expensive, which I do consider when like Jamaica to be expensive, like when you compare us to like say, like I always bring up Bali, but people are telling me Bali is not so cheap anymore either because of the influx of tourists and digital nomads. Um, but like a Colombia, like a Medellin, from what I hear, it's like it's not that. And I think I had that in my mind, like coming to Mexico, like, oh, it's Mexico, so it's got to be affordable. Like not Tulum, maybe other parts, maybe like if I was living like a local kind of thing, which I like to do when I do visit new countries and new places. But yeah, like everything here, I would say at least along this beach, and we wanted to be on the beach. Perhaps if there was a hotel that was, it's just like the grill. Like if you see on this map, there is you know, there's like the beach side, and you got the hotels, and then you have very Norman Manley esque, right? Like this would be like considered the Norman Manley Boulevard of Tulum, and then instead of having like a great morass over here, it's just jungle. Like this is what they have. They have jungle. I could see like, man, look at how much jungle there is, right? And so you have the beach, and so maybe there are accommodations that are across the street that are more affordable. than over here on the beach side. So this is where, like I said, this is where we ended up staying. We ended up choosing to be on the beach, and we kind of wanted to be in the mix because another part of the trip it um, was to just kind of do research and kind of be informed, not just from like doing research online, but actually living it and experiencing it. And like I said, it's been an interesting experience to say the least. Let's hop into the comments here real quick. Like we're gonna have to like I still got tons and tons of work to do, but we're gonna kind of keep this a little short here. Okay. Jay Fitz says sounds like an amazing workshop. It really, really was, and they had other workshop leaders as well, and those were fantastic. Veronica says love Tulum. Try and visit the Mayan ruins if possible. Didn't even have a chance. Didn't even have a chance. We wanted to do that and get a little bit of culture, but we just didn't have a chance to like get into the Mexican culture, so to speak, and then Mexican history because we just had a really tight schedule. Just came back from Cancun 2 weeks ago. My fifth visit to Mexico. Awesome. Andrew Blake says, hi, Prophet family. Good to see you, Andrew. Dawn Mill says, love the white sand. And I'll also say, speaking of the white sand, I will say the sand here is finer than the sand in Negril. And Negril has like different types of sand gradients, if you will. Some is a little bit more coarse, like depending on where you are on the beach. Some parts of Negril does have like, and I'm just thinking about like couple swept away. Their sand is very very fine, but here all along their beach, the sand is very fine, which is just an interesting observation, I'd say. Carlene says, I like to host this hotel. It's natural. Yeah, it was very natural. I tell you that. Super, super natural. They even had tree houses that you can stay in. I wanted to tour one of them. They look so cool. Like I said, I stayed in a tent and then I changed from a tent to an actual building. Very different types of. And then also in the tent, the bathroom was outside, which again was cool for a little bit. But then I'm like, all right, I'd rather have my bathroom inside. And they had the rainfall shower head and everything like that. Very cool experience. M. Noel says, hi, Throp. I've visited Mexico a few times, but I avoid the tourist areas like Tulum, Cancun, etc. I've been visited the southern city of uh, Tuico, and the beaches are just as beautiful as Negril. Awesome. I believe it. Miss Cole says, I've been to Cancun. I'm good on Mexico. Listening in the South, hi, Throp. Quickly stopping by to say hi. Thank you for chiming in. Appreciate you. M. Noel says, this is your first time to Mexico? No. I actually came here. First time I was here was on a cruise with my dad and my brothers as a kid. Then I came here for a wedding. I think it was 2014. One of my best friends, he got married here. We stayed in Playa del Carmen, and then the wedding was actually here in Tulum. So that was my first time Tulum back then. Veronica says, I love Mexico, one of my happy places. And you're right about the food. Mexicans are one of the friendliest people I know. No haggling going on there like in Jamaica. Veronica Tate says, you got taken with those prices. You have to do some research before going to any company other than yours. Yeah, sure. I mean, like I admittedly said, like I didn't do any research, but like I found like everywhere we went, and we've gone to different places that we've ate, like everything. I mean, for the most part, like the prices are. I say New York prices, like any restaurant that you go to, you're probably paying like for dinner, you're probably paying an average of $25 for an entree. You're not coming here. I mean, and it is what it is. You're not coming here to like save money. Like, in the grill, there's many ways that you can do Negril. I say this all the time. There's like many spots that you can go to and eat like a local and great food. Go to a cook shop and get amazing, fulfilling breakfasts. Like it's wholesome. I'm sure those spots exist here. I just don't know them. I just don't know them. Like, but like just staying on the strip, like it just is what it is. And I don't think I'm not complaining about it. It's just I was shocked by it because I didn't do my research and I just didn't expect that at all. And like even where we're staying now, I mean, it's just a lot of guap. Like that's it. That's just what it is. MNO says, "Yep, that's U.S. prices because of where you was." Steven says $40 for three waters and chips. Nah, that's fraud. Tell me about it. Like I didn't even do the conversion. I just gave them my card, and like when I got back in, so I saved. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy." Um, be careful what you're saying without proper research. I mean, everything I'm saying here is just point blank what I'm experiencing. Like that's it. This is exactly what I've been experiencing. Like nobody. This is not something I'm researching. This is not something that I am finding out from another source. Like I'm telling you, like this is what I paid. Like this is everything. Like even and I'll go about this in more details. I just don't want to like divulge like too much information while I'm live. I'm sure you guys can understand that. But when when I get back into my comfort of my own home and everything like that, back in Jamaica, back in yard, no problem. Like I'll give you tell you all in that sense. But I can tell you these places, these are the prices, and like these are prices that I found. I always use like when we travel, and sometimes like even like in the hotel that we're staying now, we didn't even what you call it we didn't know we were going to book here. Like we always travel a lot of times, like we travel without planning. Like me and my brothers, like we're just used to doing that. We got this hotel less than 24 hours before we came here. Like we're perfectly comfortable doing that. One of like the main apps that we use is Hotel Tonight, and it basically curates last minute hotel deals. So basically, like any leftover inventory that a hotel may have on a given day. And it used to be like the night before. So if we needed a hotel, it's Monday and we needed a hotel Tuesday, the hotel has an agreement or an understanding to open up their inventory to Hotel Tonight at extremely discounted rates, just so they can get some revenue for the hotel. Because obviously, having a hotel room is not like having like a can of Aki on the shelf. Eventually, you'll sell it. Like every night that goes by, that's lost inventory. You can never make up for it again. And so, as a hotelier, like even if you can sell it as at a discount, that's better to a certain point. That's better than having an empty room. And so that's what Hotel Tonight does, and we even use that and the deals. I mean, and you can go ahead and do it yourself. Go to Tonight, the app, and you can see what's available and the prices and the discounted prices that they're giving you on that app. And that's kind of what we used to, that me and my brothers have used for years to do like last minute travel. And that's one of our main resources. But yeah, like I said, everything that I'm saying here is just purely what I experienced. Could I have been more savvy in my spending and my research? For sure. But I just hopped on the trip, came down here for work, and stayed a couple of days after work. And I guess these are the consequences, if you will. Donna Bryce says, the beauty of Negril and Jamaica is that there is something for every travel budget, for sure. And again, there might be that here in Tulum, but maybe it's not on this hip strip that we're on. Maybe it's not on the beach, but I don't know. I when I was trying to do the research, I didn't see any in the last minute booking that we had. Jay Fitz, Tulum is nice, but there are nicer beaches with similar or better experience in other parts of the world for much less. Clary T says the sand at Point versus public beach. Um, yeah, if you give me some clarity on that question. What's going on, Dieter? Good to see you. Clary T said I get lots of sandfly bites. So trying to figure out if I belong on any sand. Yeah, I mean that in the grill at least. That usually happens at dusk, like when the sun is setting. Like that's when the sand flies come out. That's why you gotta dose yourself down with some off. Uh, Donna Bryce says, "I'm not gonna pay those prices. Stay in a tent." And I can tell you, the tent was an upgrade. I'm not even kidding. The tent was an upgrade. Like I said, it was cool. It was novel. Uh, but a few days in there, and we had to switch the game up a little bit. Douglas Joseph says, "How far is Travelers from 7 Mile Beach? And enjoy Mexico to the fullest. Big up to Mexico, aka Mexico." So Travelers is on the 7 Mile. So Travelers is, I would say, the beginning. It's within the first mile of the 7 Mile if you're going from downtown to Negril. Jay Fitz says Tulum is basically Destin, Florida, with Mexican food. What's going on, Simone? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Big up Simone. She's a Patreon. I saw your comment earlier today on the video that we put out from Vid Summit. Thank you very much for your comment there. I shared it with Candice already, Simone. Here I am. Says glad to see you traveling. Thank you. Excuse me. Frederick Markin says just live and enjoy it for now. Come home, do your research, go back and do it right the next time. Fair enough. Well said. I am what I am says Tulum is beautiful. It really is. It really, really is. Super, super beautiful. We're gonna close off here in a few minutes. I'm gonna show the beach one more time before we head in. Simone says great information. Any suggestions for flights to JA? No, you gotta go through the states. There's nothing direct. Oh no, I flew to Texas first for the Vid Summit. Yeah, you got to go through the states. You know, probably like a major hub. I was in Texas and I got a direct flight here from Dallas. I flew American. I'm flying going through New York, so flying JetBlue, and then you can go through Atlanta as well. That's my best advice. Here I am says maybe you had the sturdy tourist look on your face. No, no, these are the prices. I don't think. I mean, they know I'm a tourist, obviously, but this is just the prices everywhere. And like I said, I'm not complaining. It just is what it is. I was more shocked than anything else because, like I said, I didn't do my research. Jay Fitz says empty rooms are not good. Ref parts king. You know all about that. Frederick Martin says if you take the pollen before you go on the trip, it will help you keep the sandflies and fleas away from you. Interesting. I will say that when Nomade, this just kind of goes to show you like the mosquitoes here, wild, crazy. But it's because there's a jungle there, but they give you mosquito repellent every room. Like, and yeah, you just got to keep dousing yourself down because the mosquitoes here are something else. Corey MPA says, Throp, are you aware of hotels similar to where you are now in Negril or JA? Seems niche. Great question. Great question. So, you know, what was funny, like when me and my brother were walking on the beach, like the hotels along here, along the strip, they are very similar, you know, very, very similar. Where in the grill, there is just so much variation. I think it was Donna who said earlier the thing about Negril, there's like something for everyone, but there's so many different types of hotels. Whereas here, it's like the same modern bohemian luxury, but it's just nuanced as you go down the strip. And so what that does, and just from my observation, it like attracts a certain type of clientele. It attracts a certain level of income, but it's like the whole entire strip. The whole strip is like that. And what I was saying to my brother and what we were talking about is just like if you were to take just one of these hotels as similar and as kind of the same as they are here going down this strip in Tulum, if you take one of them and you plant them on the beach in Negril, absolutely kill. It would kill. Can I think of a hotel that is like these hotels in Negril? On the strip, no. I think the two closest hotels I would say would be Rock House on the cliffs on West End, and then also Ocean Cliff Hotel, which is formerly the Spa Retreat. And those are cliff hotels. But those would be the closest. I can't think of one on the Seven Mile Strip on the beach that would be compared to anything like this. And they don't have, as far as I know in the scene, like there are no like large 1,000 room all inclusive hotels, at least on this strip. I didn't see any. I stand to be corrected. Um, and the tallest building I think is I've seen is 3 floors, 4 floors. So they have that low density thing going on, kind of just like Negril as well. Don't see any skyscrapers, or not skyscrapers, but like 10, 15, 20 foot story buildings, not along this strip. So there's like that's very comparative to Negril as well. But yeah, great question, Corey. Great question. I can't can't think of one in the grill, but like I said, if you were to take one of these and plop them down in the grill, it would absolutely murder, absolutely kill, because we just don't have something like this in the grill. And another thing that I noticed is like I noticed this at Nomade and also where we're staying here. It's a very and I can't. It's hard to tell like uh, if like people are locals, if people are transplants, or people are just visiting. But there is a lot of traffic to these beachfront properties to their restaurants because like a lot of people like do work from home here, and there are a lot of people who just kind of. I'm just trying to find an example. That's why I'm turning around. But there are a lot of people who just kind of come in to the restaurant and just kind of sit down, do work here on the beach, which I'm about to show you again in a second, and just go to different properties and just spend the day there, just kind of hang out for the day there, and then leave. And I say that because like we like even here where we're staying, like we just work here for like 8, 10 hours, just breakfast, lunch, dinner, just sitting down, doing work, editing emails, doing ThropX stuff, and we do that. We do that all day, kind of observe and see what people are doing in terms of like using the facilities, which I think is cool. I think it's cool. Like they're like these properties are open. It's very much, and dare I say too, this is another thing that I observed is like there's no security on the beach. There's no like in the grill, like you have security for harassment, you have security to secure the property. But there's like even now where I am, like there's if there is security, like I don't know who they are. They're not uniformed. Um, they're just not there. Like and it just kind of and it's not out of a concern. It's more like I feel like speaks to the safety of the beach area. Again, interesting, very interesting observation. Um, very, very interesting observation from just a comparative standpoint of Negril. But it's good. I'm so happy I came on this trip, just to be able to see this for my own eyes. Let's continue going through the comments here. Red says, enjoy your experience, Thump. Thank you. I sure will. I'm referring to cheap last minute flights. Probably, I mean, I use for my flights. I use Google Flights. I used to use Kayak and all these things, but like to me, I found Google to be just just searches everywhere. So Google Flights is like my go-to. And then when I'm in Europe, like I usually use like I forget Ryanair was one of them, but then there's this I forget the other name. I forget the other name of the other flight company. EasyJet was like I used their app and like literally I think sometimes I was booking the flight like 7, 8 hours before taking off. Like that but that was Europe. I don't recommend that. Sometimes it can be a little stressful, but kind of got used to it. But in general, Google Flights is my go-to. Amno says, enjoy your stay. We'll link it to you on Sunday edition. Awesome. Thank you, Amno. Appreciate that. Douglas says, apparently I was thinking the same. Travelers, very beautiful hotel. Never visit, but my family stay there. They love it. Awesome. Oh, bee pollen. Okay, got it. Never heard that before. Bee pollen to avoid mosquitoes and insects. Donna Bryce says, talking about bug bites, is travelers fogging for mosquitoes like couples exempted because of dengue? So Negril fogs in general. There are certain hotels that fog just like all the time, but as far as I as far as I know, we do have a fogging program. Donna Bryce says the national bird of Tulum is the mosquito. Steve Stevens says, how are the food conditions? Oh, sorry, road conditions in Mexico. Great question. Very good. So, caveat that. So, generally very good. The Tulum road here that I show you, like This is a very, very slow moving road. So, like I said, this would be a comparative to Norman Manley Boulevard, where Norman Manley is more like a highway. This is super slow moving, many, many, many speed bumps. But the highway is pristine coming here from the airport, super, super smooth, very good. However, we went to this lagoon one day. I forget the name of it. I'll try and get it ready for Sunday so we can show you. But like, it's in the, you got to go through the jungle to get there. But that road is one of the worst roads that I've ever been on in my life. But you can tell the owners of this place just cut the road, mauled it up, and like that's it. But that was the worst road and the only bad road. But we did it because we wanted to go to this lagoon and enjoy the restaurant and the drinks that they had there. But in general, they're better than Jamaica. I mean, just from what I've seen so far with the highway and everything like that. Good question. Jay Fitz says, "Is the beach private where you're staying?" No, as far as I know, it's not. It's not like I don't know. I haven't seen public access roads to the beach. I think like, and I think about Negril, like where Travelers is. There's a public access road, so locals can come and hang out there. I was saying this with my brother. Like, I don't know how even the locals afford this. um, how they would afford this. I wonder how even the staff gets home because the taxis are so expensive. Like there has to be something that we're unaware of. Like we drove from the another crazy thing. We drove from our hotel, the Nomadic Hotel, to the hotel that we're staying at here. We're talking about just under 4 miles. Was 500 pesos, which is $30 basically. It was $30. I mean, we could have walked here. Well, obviously, we had our luggage. But I did take a walk here the day before, and we walked way past here. We just walked here just to do a walk. I don't think it was even 4 miles. No, what am I talking about? It was 3 kilometers, like almost 3 kilometers and change to get here. I mean, we couldn't believe how quickly we got here. It was $30, but it is what it is. You know, that's what it is. That's what it is here. You know. Emno says there's a nice African American expat group there. Also, they have a Facebook page if anyone wants to get more information. I heard about this. I heard about that. That would have been cool. Mystical says, I love Mexican food. Me too. The food here has been great, amazing, fantastic. Emno says, yes, that was one of my favorite things I've noticed every time I visit Mexico. The police presence is low key. Jay Fitz says, their security, you just don't see them. They are definitely protecting their investment. I'm sure. I'm sure. Leon says, enjoy the Latin hospitality, bro. I hope the documentation of Paradise Survive plus Eat, Pray, Love combination rubs off on you. You deserve king. Stay blessed. I salute Team Throp Media. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you, Leon. All right, we're going to have to start wrapping up here. Perry T says, I think it's time to ban all soliciting from the beach and create places on the beach road. That's going to be a tough one. I'll say that. I'll just leave that there. It's going to be a tough one. Steve Stevens says, are there toll roads in Mexico? Um, I don't. I was paying attention from the airport. When I go back, I'll answer that. But I didn't see any. I didn't see any. But I'm sure there are. But at least from Cancun to Tulum, at least I don't remember seeing any. Or maybe it was like automated. You know, they take the license plate picture, but we didn't stop or anything like that to pay anything. Shayna Love Coach says, you seem to have unique experiences. Great for storytelling. Thank you. Thank you, Shayna. And Ms. Cole says, I never get harassment on the 7 miles. I usually say no, thank you. Or if a man tried to chat me up, I just nod and smile. Yeah, I mean, it depends, like, on what you consider harassment. I mean, I don't get like obviously I don't get harassed in it like at all. Like just kind of and then like just after being there for a while, like even if you were there for a week and you did like walks every day, like the people who are trying to sell you things, they're like, oh, that's so and so. They don't want anything. You know, it's kind of like a first time situation. Um, and yeah, you get that. You just don't get anything like that. Like while you're here, but there's also something to be said for that, like that. Like I also find here, it like, and I want to talk more detail about it when our on the live stream on Sunday, or whenever we go in detail about Tulum. It also is difficult to establish like relationship here with the locals, and that is also due to the language barrier. And I think that that is a huge advantage to tourism in Jamaica, because like we have had guests who've been coming to travelers for 15, 20 years who have developed a family relationship with our staff. Like they even like they continue to stay in communication with them. And there's so many people who come here who like they just become family with Jamaicans, and that's what keeps them coming back year after year after year. And sometimes it starts off with selling selling you a piece of fruit, or them selling you a necklace or a t-shirt or whatever have you. Like those interactions and those touch points, and being culturally in tune, there's something to be said about that. And I think that is also very, very unique to Jamaica and unique to a Negril experience. And so here, all you're passing on this beach is other tourists, and that's why there are there are very, very few locals who are walking on this beach. From what I've seen, from what I see, when I was taking my walks in the morning, it was always other tourists that I was seeing, that I was saying hello to, good morning to, I was waving to while I was running. Not many locals from what I've seen, but it's a different beach, a different type of experience here. And again, it's just interesting to observe the differences for myself than reading about it or watching a YouTube video and comparing it digitally, so to speak. So we're gonna actually start to wrap up here. I want to give you one more view of the beach, especially for some people who weren't here in the beginning when I was showing it. And we're gonna walk out to the beach. I'm glad I was able to get this in. I didn't think I was going to be visiting, to be doing a live stream. So this is the beach. The sun is setting. Let's walk down there. Like I said, it's a little rough here. Definitely gives you 7 mile vibes out here. Like I said, like down here, like you expect to see like Booby K Island, but it's not there. Yeah, it's so beautiful here. Very, very beautiful. And like if you're a fan of sunrises and getting up early and starting the day off, it's just so nice to just come out and like walk on the beach. And at the Nomade Hotel, like there's no point in wearing shoes. Like everywhere you go and everywhere you walk is just sand. Like even like you can't even take your luggage to your room by yourself, because you can't even roll your luggage. They actually have to bring it up for you, and like these guys are like so strong. I took videos, like they were like it's ridiculous, just ridiculous. Like, and my suitcase had like all my equipment in it and everything. So it was just, I was like super, super impressed. But yeah, and like here, it's just like Negril, it's just like hotel after hotel, just like as you go down. And from talking to the local friend that we met here today, it's just like nobody lives here. It's just like it's just hotels after hotels. So I'll show you the other side. Just trying to get people in here if they don't want to be on our live stream. So that's the other side. Yeah, just kind of want to give you a little vibe of what's going on here. And people just kind of just chill here like all day on the beach, just lays around, as you can imagine. And taking the afternoon naps. That's like the vibe out here. And I got rough. And normally this time, like we were in a grill, we'd be seeing the sunset, but we had the sunrise. Yeah. Anyway, that's about it. Just wanted to give you all a little taste of Mexico, and I'm glad I was able to squeeze this time in with you all. Oh, forgot about ThropX. Quick announcement with ThropX. We're actually sold out at Travelers. So I know people, even up until last night, somebody was trying to get a room. I didn't realize we sold out a few days ago. So we don't have any rooms available for ThropX. But like I said, we partnered with Shirella Inn, we partnered with Negril Treehouse, and we partnered with Coca La Palm, and they're all giving us discounts on rooms. So if you just call or you email them, and this will also be in the newsletter, and just let them know that you're booking for ThropX, and they will give you the discounted rate, and you'll be able to book with them. You don't have to worry about transportation. We will have transportation for you to the panel discussions and all the activities. So if you're coming to ThropX, you're planning to come, and you need accommodations, we have those 3 hotels that are available, and we're working on a few other hotels that hopefully we'll be partnering with, and then we can also add them to the list. So just wanted to give you a quick update and quick heads up on that. The Travelers is sold out for ThropX, and I'm sorry if you wanted a room there, but I told you all many times that this was happening, and I gave you a countdown on the rooms as they were coming in. But I don't think that is any hindrance whatsoever. The 3 hotels that we're partnering are great, fantastic hotels, very comparable to Travelers. And if you know the strip of the 7 miles, you know these hotels are right there within stone's throw, and nothing to worry about it at all. So with that, speaking of ThropX, I'm going to leave you with the trailer for those of you who may be questioning or asking what the heck ThropX is. We're about to show you right now. But in any case, in any event, I will see you on Sunday back to our regularly scheduled program. Like I said, I'm so happy that I was able to squeeze this one in. And I will see you all on Sunday. Thanks for the support. Thanks for hopping on. Always appreciate you all. Appreciate you channel members. Appreciate you Patreons. I hope you guys enjoyed the video that I put out on the YouTube conference that I was at in Dallas. And if you are interested in seeing that behind the scenes content, you can go ahead and become a channel member or become a Patreon. It really helps out with the channel, with the support. Every little bit counts. We have 2 different tiers, $5 and $10 a month. And it just helps me do this on a more regular basis than anything else, expanding the team out with paying for these different software subscriptions that we have, which tending to pile up like crazy. But I appreciate those who have already joined the channel membership and also the Patreon. So yes, please hit the like button. Definitely helps out a lot. And I will see you all on Sunday.
Hey.
There's been so much interest in the economic boom that's been happening in Jamaica, both on the investment side and also as a place to move to. Let me tell you about a conference that might help you with this stuff. ThropX is a 5-day Jamaica investment conference that takes place from November 13th to November 17th at the beautiful Travelers Beach Resort in Negril, Jamaica. This includes 2 full days of expert panel presentations on all aspects of moving to and investing in Jamaica. This includes the brightest minds in the Jamaican real estate market, certified financial advisors from the most prestigious financial groups in Jamaica, banking professionals from the most esteemed banking institutions in Jamaica, among others. If you are thinking about moving to Jamaica, this conference is the perfect opportunity to have direct access to not only individuals who have achieved your dream of moving to Jamaica, but you'll also be among like-minded conference goers who are also trying to move to Jamaica. In addition, there will be 1 full day dedicated to touring both residential and commercial real estate for sale in the greater Negril area to give you a tangible idea of the real estate landscape in Jamaica. There will be exclusive properties for sale on this tour that you will not find listed anywhere else. If you are even remotely considering moving to or investing in Jamaica, this is the conference for you. This is the best way to dip your toe in the water of figuring out whether Jamaica is the right place for you to invest and to live. For more information, please visit ThropX.com and join our mailing list. I look forward to seeing you in November.